Welcome back to the PT Playbook, and if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. But today we're going to be going over PTCAS and the entirety of the PTCAS portal. We're going to actually be going into my current portal, show you everything about it, and kind of do a step-by-step, but also a one-on-one of every little thing that you need to know. All right, so let's get into the video. All right, so looking at PTCAS here, this is going to be the main platform that you see. Okay, so this is the first page right here. All right, and what we're gonna actually essentially do is just look at every single tab. So we're gonna go through my application first, we'll go through add a program, submit application, and check status. Okay, so starting off, we have just our name, top corner, our CAS ID, and then in my application, we're gonna have personal information, academic history, supporting information, and program materials, okay? So let's go ahead and we'll click at our personal information, all right? And we'll see that essentially all of this is just our personal information, right? So we have release statement, biographic information, contact, citizenship, race and ethnicity, parent, guardian, and etc. Okay, so let's go ahead, click on release statement. I'll just show you guys this real quick. You're just gonna be clicking yes for all of these essentially, just giving the rights to PTCAS to release all the information you put into this portal, okay? Next thing is gonna be the biographic information and contact information. I'm not gonna go ahead and show you guys that just because it's personal information, like where I live and everything like that. I don't think you wanna know that. But that's going to be in your bio, contact information, email, phone number, all that good stuff. Okay. Then you're going to go to citizenship information. Okay. So what we're going to do here is just put all your citizenship stuff. Okay. Next thing is going to be race and ethnicity, parent and guardian. Okay. Economic, educational, environmental factors. So it's going to want to know a little bit more about you. And then other information. Okay, so language proficiency, military status, academic infraction, license infraction, social security number, and COVID, all kinds of good stuff. Okay, so just go ahead and fill that stuff out. It takes 10 minutes tops. It'll be quick in and out, okay? Let's go to academic history next, okay? So academic history is going to be colleges attended, transcript entry, and standardized tests. So let's go ahead and click on colleges attended. This is going to be where you're going to put the colleges that you attended, essentially. So for me, it's going to be Loyola Marymount University was my main one. Saddleback and American Military University are classes that I took over the summer at those universities, okay? So I'm just gonna show you really quick how to add a college or university. It's simple. Again, let's just say I went to, I just pressed A. Let's go AB, Institute of Dental Sciences. What a long university name. Okay, did you obtain or are planning to obtain a degree from this university? Say yes. Degree awarded or degree in progress. If you're still finishing up those prerequisites, then go ahead and put degree in progress. But if you haven't and you're all done with your degree, go ahead, press degree awarded. Check if you were a double major, congratulations. And then what type of term system does this college or university use? Okay, so quarter, semester, trimester. I know personally at Loyola, I was semester based. Okay, so go ahead and fill all that stuff in, and then you should be pretty much set. You're gonna get a green check mark, which is exactly what you want. All right, next thing is transcript entry. Okay, now this is a very important part of your PTCAS application, is because you want to be super diligent and super careful and super detail oriented about the classes that you put into your transcript entry. Now, you are going to have to request a transcript from your university to be sent to PTCAS, which is super simple. You just do that through Parchment or your university in itself. But go ahead and do that. But once you do that as well, you're going to have to input all your classes that you took into PTCAS, okay? And that's gonna be seen here, all right? So you're gonna have to add semesters, okay? So I added fall 2021 and I was a freshman, spring 2022, a freshman as well. And you're just gonna have to add all the classes that you took. And this is what I mean about being super diligent about this, is because you want to add the credibility aspect of the classes that you took, okay? So obviously PTCAS is gonna have your transcripts, gonna see what classes you took, but by doing this, it's gonna actually do like a double take confirmation on the classes that you actually took. Really justifying the fact that you did take these prerequisites that these PT schools are requiring, okay? So go ahead and do all those. That is gonna be the most time consuming part of your PTCAS application essay outside of your, PT application outside of your essays, okay? And I'm just gonna show you really quick how to add a semester, okay? You're just gonna come down, add a semester. Obviously mine are full, but you're gonna go in, add it. It's gonna be blank, super simple, just add a semester. You're gonna select the term, the year, the academic status, freshman, sophomore, junior, okay? In progress or completed. I'm gonna say completed. We're gonna add a course, okay? We're gonna say bio 101, intro to bio, okay? Select your subject, which is gonna be bio, okay? And let's just say it's 3 credits, okay? And I got a in it. It's gonna automatically register your CAS grade, which is gonna be perfect. You go ahead, press save, and you're all locked in. I'm not going to save that because I obviously didn't take that class. Perfect, okay, and then we're all set. Down here, I also wanted to touch on the fact that PTCAS will, once you start choosing schools or adding schools to your platform, they'll start giving little things like this, just kind of recommendations. So for example, some prerequisite information in regards to the schools that I applied to have given the classes that are required as prereqs to apply to these schools. So for example, Charleston Southern University requires all these prereqs to apply to their school, okay, which is pretty standard. They all kind of have the same prereqs, okay? So after transcript entry, we'll go to standardized tests, okay? So standardized test is where we talk about things like the GRE, and I made an entire video on the GRE right here. You just have to click on it. That'll talk to you about the GRE and the entire process of taking it. But as far as once you take it, you're gonna have to send your scores to PTCAS. And this is kind of where you do it right here, okay? So you're gonna have to do standardized tests if you wanna get into some schools because they require it, but for me, there were some schools like that, so I had to take the GRE, so I did take the GRE. It shows when I took it, and then when I submitted it over here into PTCAS. I also took an AP Calculus class, which you also have to show as far as where you're getting these credits from and in relation to your transcript, okay? And again, super simple, adding a standardized test. What type of test do you want to add? Select type. There is a drop-down menu for you, so you can take the GRE, TOEFL, the AP exams, the CLEP, and the IB exams, the IB exams, IB program. Okay, cool. So that is pretty much your academic history section. Okay, so let's go back to my application. We'll go to supporting information next. And for supporting information, we have kind of the meat and potatoes of everything that kind of makes you and what you are applying as so-called Brett Zimmerman, okay? So for me, or not necessarily for me, but for all applicants, we have observation hours, experiences, achievements, licenses, and certifications, and your essay, which is also known as your personal statement. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on observation hours. Now, through PTCAS, you should be getting observation hours no matter what if you're thinking about PT school, but through PTCAS, you have to get those observation hours verified, okay? So for me, for example, I have 2 observation hours on here. I worked in Select Physical Therapy and then Evolution Physical Therapy as well. And this is relatively simple. I'll show you how to do this. All you have to do is just add your observation hours through showing them where you worked, the experience dates and details, and then the hours that you completed in whether it was an inpatient setting, outpatient setting, or other type of setting. This is more so for the PT schools itself, not rather for PTCAS. PT schools are going to want to look in your PTCAS application and see, oh, Did they get a variety of different hours, or did they just get all their 120 hours in outpatient or inpatient? Okay, so this is really good to diversify yourself. And also when you're at your internship site, make sure you're taking notes of this, okay? So did I work with a, like a workers' comp case? So then you can say industrial or occupational health. Did I work as a Special Olympics volunteer? Oh, that's a PTCAS subsection. I'm gonna put all my hours in there. So be very cognizant of those types of adjustments to make in this section, okay? Again, patient diagnoses and patient observed, okay? You wanna make note of the type of patients you're seeing, okay? So are you seeing younger patients, older patients, athletes, things like that, okay? Again, you want to select upload a signed form verifying my PT observation hours, or I will not have my or send my PT observation hours to my PT supervisor for verification. I would suggest this one, okay? I would highly be against this one, okay? I would not have my PT observation hours verified. We do not want that. I think that that's a bad look because it's just super easy to lie about the thousands of hours that you got volunteering or interning. But if you can really get that verification, then that'll add a little bit of credibility to the work that you've been able to put in. Okay, after that, let's go into experiences. Again, experiences is everything that is not PT related, okay? So everything that you've been able to accomplish and do that has helped you gain a certain amount of skills or life lessons, okay? That is gonna be everything and not in observation hours. That's gonna be in experiences. Okay, so for me, it was a couple internships here and there. Again, add an experience, it's the exact same way. I'm not gonna show you guys. Very, very similar. The only thing that isn't there is the verification, because you don't really have to verify your experiences. Just go ahead, talk about your experiences in this section right here, okay? You have 600 words to talk about the description and key responsibilities that you did. So go ahead, treat this as like a resume. Go ahead, write all the information you need to here, telling PTCAS and all the schools that you're applying to what you did. Okay, next thing is go into achievements. Achievements, very similar concept, okay? Just make sure that they're actual achievements, not that you won the 8th grade spelling bee. Make sure that they're actually kind of things that you're proud of and want PTCAS and PT schools to know about, okay? Licenses and certifications, similar concept. I chose to not upload any as of right now. I did get my CSCS and I'm working on getting my CPR and AED certification. So that is what I'll end up adding into this section. But for the most part, you can really add any license or certification that looks good in this section. All right, so then the next thing we're gonna go into is the essay, or also known as the personal statement. So this, again, like I mentioned previously, meat and potatoes, this section, but your personal essay is the hit home spot. All right, this is where you want to provide the best piece of writing that you've probably written in about 4 years. And I know that says a lot. I will make a video on creating that great personal statement, but every single PT school that you are applying to is going to look at this, and they're probably gonna look at this first, other than your regular stats of GPA and all kinds of fun things like that. But as far as when they get to your PTCAS application, they're gonna wanna look at your personal statement. Now, the personal statement prompt changes every cycle, okay? So I'm gonna read you the 2024, 2025 one, which is every applicant is unique in their own way, possessing individual qualities, abilities, and backgrounds. What unique traits will you bring to the physical therapy profession that will help you to be successful? And you have to answer that in 4,500 characters, which is about, for me, it was 743 words. Okay, not a lot of space to tell the world, essentially, or all the applicants or admissions officers about how awesome you are and the skills that you have, okay? So it's all about concise writing and being really, really braggy. I don't even know if that's a word, but bragging about yourself a whole lot, showing that you do have what it takes to be a great physical therapist, okay? So that is your personal statement. It's just gonna go right there in that box. You save and continue, and then you'll move on, okay? So we'll go back to my application, and then next thing we're gonna go to, before I go to program materials, let's go to add program. Okay, so let's start adding a program. So when you go into PTCAS, this is going to be blank. Okay, there's going to be no programs added. So you're going to have to go, or this is going to be essentially blank, but you're going to want to go to and add a program. Okay, I'm not going to search for program. I'm just going to click the first one that says Advent Health University. And to add a program, you're just going to press the plus button. Okay, but you can search for any type of program you want in this search bar. You can also use filters, okay, for this type of school, the state, and the program start deadline. Okay, so you can go ahead and do that. But as far as that, I just added that program. Okay, now we're gonna go back to my application. So let's now go into program materials. So there it is, Advent Health University. I just added it into my program materials dashboard. Now, as you can see, I do have other programs in here that I have applied to and completed all the requirements for. But for this video, I'm just gonna go through Advent Health and see what this program requires and kind of walk you through it. Okay, so looking at the basics of it, this homepage is going to be a little bit about the program itself, the deadline for when the due date is, the program start date, city, state, all kinds of different things like that. Okay, next thing we're gonna go is the questions. Okay, so every PT school is gonna ask supplemental essay questions. Okay, now these could be short, they could be one question, they could be long questions. You know, it's free range. It's up to the university to decide what questions they're asking. Now here for Advent Health, we have the standard one. Are you reapplying? No, I'm not. So, and then this one is write an essay that includes the following: 1, personal goal statement; 2, reasons for choosing physical therapy as a future career; 3, experiences or interactions you have had with the physical therapist; and 4, reasons for choosing AHU, a faith-based university. Okay, so you have 4,500 characters to do this. Again, like what I said, it was about 750 words. Go ahead and just answer the question and do it to your best ability. And yeah, that's as much as I can say about that. Religious preferences, again, this is totally based on the school. Not all these schools are going to have this. Go ahead and answer that question. Have you ever been convicted of a felony? No. If you did, then explain yourself. Okay, so those are the questions. Again, if every single university is going to have different types of questions. All right, next thing we're going to go into is the references. Okay, so for example, letter of references are different for every single university. For example, this one has 2 physical therapists and 1 person of the applicant's choice. Okay, so a couple of my other ones were physical therapists, professors are good examples, internship advisors, work advisors, experience advisors, all those types of things. But the school itself will usually give you a good idea of which ones to that are required. So make sure you get those required ones in. And then, for example, right here it says 3 required, 5 total allowed. You can do an additional 2, but make sure you get those 3 of 2 physical therapists and 1 of the applicant's choice. Okay, and then go ahead and do that. Request PTCAS reference. You're going to put your reference's name, information there. Click these 2. Make sure to do that, just giving them permission. And then I waive my right of access to this reference. Okay, so waive all rights of access so it'll look more credible when those schools are looking at it and they know that you didn't look at it or didn't fondle with the actual letter. They just saw it, sent it in, or they saw it, wrote it, sent it in. Okay, so that is going to be your references. And then prereqs. Okay, you're going to assign the course based on the prereq that you entered in the transcript entry. Okay, so again, we're going to go to anatomy and physiology. I'm going to assign a course. Okay, so again, here is what all the things I entered, and I'm going to find anatomy and physiology because that's what it's asking for. And I took that in my spring of 2022. I'm going to go ahead and click that, and then it goes green. Save and exit. Okay, I'm not going to just because I don't want to apply to the school, but that's essentially how you're going to handle that. Okay, so that's going to be your prereqs. Go ahead and add all of them, and then that bar is going to turn green. So I'm going to show you an example of one that I have completed fully already, which is going to be Northwestern, okay, for example. So prereqs, all green. References, all completed. My questions, all answered. And the home, there's nothing really. That's just solely information based. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up your program materials section. We just went over the add program section. We know how that works. And then let's go to the submit application panel. Now, it's good to know that applying to PT school is not cheap. Your first application into PTCAS is $170, and then beyond that, every application you send into PTCAS is $70, okay? So just keep that in the back of your mind. It is not cheap when applying to PT school, okay? Here is where you can see all the schools that you have added to your program list, okay? Now, this green bar is going to turn green when you finish it, but it's going to continue to go as you progress in completing everything that's required for the university. Okay, so there's these 3 that I have not completed yet, but everything else I have submitted and turned in my application. You can also sort by deadline or alphabetically. I prefer deadline just so you can see the schools that you need to attack first. Okay, then you just press the school, you submit it, and then that's simple as it is. That'll lead us into the check status tab. Okay, this is where we can see if our transcripts have arrived, our references have been accepted, our standardized tests have been received, and then our observation hours have been verified. Okay, so this we all want to be green. Okay, we do not want any red, like this type of red in here. We want it to all be green, and if not, fix it as soon as possible because it's easier just to fix those things and deal with it on the back end. Okay, now as far as the way the PTCAS application status goes, okay, you're gonna be in progress when you're completing your application, okay? But just because you press submit doesn't mean that it's gonna be verified right away. I learned this the hard way and I kind of freaked out because when I submitted my first application, it didn't say verified. And I was like, oh gosh, like I just submitted it, why isn't it verified? PTCAS takes about 4 days to 2 weeks, depending on how much stuff you have in already, to verify your application status, okay? So for me, it takes about 4 days just because I have everything already in my PTCAS. But if you're constantly adding things, taking things out, it's gonna take a little bit longer to verify your PT application, okay? But for the most part, one thing to note is that if you submit your application before a school's deadline, but it's not verified till after that deadline, you're still fine, okay? You're still fine. The schools won't actually look at your PTCAS application until it is verified, but they will know that, hey, they did submit before the deadline. So don't worry about that. The biggest thing is just getting all those applications verified as fast as you can. Okay, cool. And so that is the check status tab. We have gone over every single tab. That is pretty much it. You have your own personal information here that you can go into, but that isn't all the exciting, sexy stuff. That is pretty much it for the most part. Let me know if you have any further questions as far as PTCAS goes, any other details that you have, please let me be a resource. And if you also have any further immediate questions about the video, go ahead and drop a comment. Even if you like the video, go ahead and let me know in the comments. That is really appreciated. Again, if you like the information, go ahead and subscribe to help this channel grow and share the knowledge. Awesome. Thanks, guys. I'll see you guys at the next video.